This is episode 4 of the Switch Shiny quest. Our target this episode is Magnemite, the magnet Pokemon. In Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Magnemites are located in the power plant, an area only accessible after obtaining the Sea Skim ability in Fuchsia City. They spawn pretty frequently in the first room, so getting a chain going is fairly simple. As this area has a loading zone, it's also a great candidate for route resetting if you want to passively hunt with just a lure. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta pull this on. Not walk out the door. Oh my god. Okay. Hey, it stayed in the middle. That's assuming this catches it. Yeah! Dude, it literally did. It walked to the door. Or floated to the door. Holy heck, dude. It's like very light compared to how it was in the other game. Ah! Oh. In Sword and Shield, Magnemite is locked to the DLC, being available exclusively in the Isle of Armor. It can also appear in max raid battles, but as those are full odds, I do not recommend it. Instead, focus on Challenge Beach, where they are the most common spawn in all weathers. On top of that, they are both electric and steel, meaning you can use a lead Pokemon with either static or magnet pull to increase their spawn rate even more. Just be aware that static will also attract Dedenne and Morpeko, making magnet pull the more effective option. Actually fighting the Magnemites does pose a couple issues. If you're using a magnet pull Pokemon, it most likely is a steel type, meaning half of Magnemites encountered will prevent you from fleeing battle since they will also have magnet pull. To get around this, there are two options. You can either feint your own magnet pull Pokemon so your second Pokemon comes out in battle while still having the magnet puller leaving the party for the spawning bonus, or you can equip a Smoke Ball to your Magnet Pull Pokemon, which will allow fleeing without fail. The other half of Magnemites have the ability Sturdy, preventing them from being KO'd in one hit, which isn't the worst thing ever, but it does lengthen the hunt. There are a couple solid options to avoid this issue, one being the abilities Mold Breaker and Neutralizing Gas. These will suppress the Sturdy, allowing for a one-hit KO. Alternatively, you can use a high-level Pokemon with a multi-hit move like Double Kick on Dubwool. Encounters in Sword and Shield are affected by Shiny Charm and sometimes can have increased Shiny rates based on the total number of that species defeated. A Brilliant Aura appears on Pokemon that have these increased Shiny odds. Hey! That was only like 12 after having killed 500. That was so bad. Look at that. I love the black. It looks so nice. To be honest, I have not tried to catch one of these, so I don't actually know if any of this is necessary. But I'm doing it just in case. Because who knows, it could take a while. Or it could, critically captured, who knows? I will find out momentarily. I'm just gonna put it to sleep. It can't really do anything, it just has that cannon that's its only attacking move. Everything else is a status move. Alright, sleepy time. It's just so cute. I love sleeping Pokemon. It just looks like a little smiley face now. And critical capture. Easy. Now whether or not that was because I put it to sleep, nobody will know. But I was prepared. Summary. No ribbons. It's a sassy magnet. Magnemite is a national dex Pokemon in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, appearing in several rooms of the Grand Underground, as well as the Fuego Ironworks as a swarm Pokemon. Swarms are clusters of certain species that change each day. You can check what is available by speaking to your rival sister in Sandgem Town. After she tells you about swarms, the updates also begin appearing as a news blurb on the menu screen, so you only have to speak to her once. When a swarm is on a route, there will appear overworld sprites of that Pokemon. These cannot be interacted with and are merely meant to show that a swarm is present. My guess is the visual is an accessibility feature to help those who don't read the news. All swarm Pokemon have a 40% encounter rate, so starting a PokeRadar chain of them is not very difficult. Yay! I didn't even make 40. It was only 28. Hey, it works. It is so much more muted in this game. Oh man. Alright, come here, ball for you. Really? Yes, glare at it, Luxray. It deserves it. Why didn't you just stay in the ball, man? Okay. Look, is it gonna misbehave again? Hello? No nicknames. Loses all the colors. Naive. Alert the sound. Ah, Legends Arceus. Most of the time I love shiny hunting in this game, but there are a few mons that are exceptionally difficult to obtain here, Magnemite being one of them. You see, our floating friend is a distortion Pokemon, meaning it only spawns within space-time distortions. These are randomly appearing zones that offer 3 fixed special spawns, which vary based upon where in Hisui you're located. For Magnemite, we'll be searching in the Cobalt Coastlands. Now, there are a few quirks to this mechanic. For starters, it is based upon time spent in that area, with no chance of finding a distortion before having been there for 5 whole minutes. This time can be spent simply hanging around base camp or capturing Pokemon and gathering resources, just so long as you don't enter battles, open menus, or get into conversations, as these actions will stop the distortion timer. This timer will resume as soon as you exit any of these things, but all the time spent is not added. You'll have to wait an equivalent amount of time to make up for the pause. At 5 minutes on the hidden timer, the game will check to spawn a distortion, with only a 10% success rate. If it fails, another check won't be performed until the timer reaches 10 minutes total, keeping the 5 you've already done. This check happens again at the 15-minute, 25-minute, and finally 40-minute mark, where the game will force a space-time distortion. That sounds pretty reasonable, giving a guaranteed spawn after 40 entire minutes of waiting, except there's a catch. Aside from that time needing to be entirely outside of menus in battle, this hidden timer can just reset partway through. potentially leading to hours of gameplay with no distortions. For some ungodly reason, space-time distortions cannot spawn during intense sunlight, thunderstorms, or snowstorms. If you cross one of the check times, and any of these weathers exist, it can pass the check but not spawn a distortion, zeroing out your timer but never telling you that happened, forcing you to wait for potentially another 40 minutes. This is why distortion Pokemon are so difficult to obtain, especially shiny. In order to properly hunt space-time Pokemon, you'll need to keep your own timer either on a stopwatch or a digital device, and make sure that when you're almost to the 5, 10, 15, 25, and 40 minute marks, the weather isn't intense sun, a thunderstorm, or a snowstorm. If it is one of those weathers, enter a battle with any wild Pokemon that won't immediately flee from you, and just wait for the weather to pass. It's tedious and upsetting every time it happens, especially considering that unless it's the 40-minute check, you don't know if the distortion will even exist at that time slot. There's a good chance you could wait out a bad weather at the 25-minute mark and still have to wait 15 minutes after it clears for your distortion. Here I was thinking raid shiny hunts were bad. This is so much worse. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's real. Holy crap. Okay, I'm gonna walk away from it for now. I'll come back, as it'll stay there. I was just doing this while I was recording, or like editing recordings. Because I have to wait so long in between. I didn't actually expect it to like go up. Would you work, please? I'm closest to that one. What the heck? Ooh, saved me. We're gonna make the others that spawn this way. There we go. Come on. Hi! Aren't you adorable? That's insane. Just walked right up to it. No way. It's gonna be difficult too. Yeah, that's fine. You're not gonna make it through my Gastrodon, little one. Just stay in the ball. Heck yes! Let's go! I was over odds by a bunch, but that's okay. Wow. You're golden in the evening light. The fact that you're so rare is crazy talk. Dude. I could have been here for so much longer. Wow. Lax-natured. In Scarlet and Violet, Magnemite finally stops being an elusive encounter, existing all around the Levencia area and in a large portion of the terrarium. It is both an electric and steel Pokemon, so either of these sandwiches will increase its shiny rate. I wound up spotting a mass outbreak, so after KOing 60 of them and doing a few dozen picnic resets to avoid out of bounders, we have this. Yeah, that is it. I'm like, is that it? Hold on. It is so hard to tell in the sunlight. It's way easier to tell at night. Heck yeah. so shiny. Like metallic shiny, not like shiny. Cool. Beautiful. Wonderful. Don't have to worry about Pokemon on the floor anymore. Wow. Awesome. With the cloudy mark. That's so cool. That's it. Shiny Magnemite as seen in every Switch game. There are 15 more Pokemon that qualify for this challenge, but I'm not going to make more episodes if we don't hit the like goals. These videos take hundreds of hours to make. I'm only asking you to spare a second clicking that button. The choice is yours. Thanks so much for watching. Here's hoping you have a lovely day.